Okay, good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to our week 9. These are continuation of our session a while ago on our Calculus 3. Welcome our two top chats from our YouTube channel. We thank the Lord for this. Still my student is unable to connect. Nevertheless, this is a recorded stream, so he may catch it up. Nevertheless, there are important portions that I'm discussing now as we are about to look into some of the questions pertaining to series. Okay, so that's our course of study as of this moment. So far we have discussed in prelims sequence and now series, and then eventually that would lead to the study of power series. Hoping within the next 2 weeks we'll be discussing power series. That's why ayan, so I really need to catch up also on my lecture as far as our discussion here is concerned. So nevertheless, no, if the student Dale Talaber would catch up, no, it will be appreciated. However, if not, we will continue on our discussion. Okay? So, sige, let's open the word of prayer. We thank the Lord. So we have a series of sample problems here to solve, and then we would continue to answer this as much as we can as part of a learning process, anticipating these problems, and at the same time geared towards the discussion of power series. There are two power series. We have Maclaurin's and Taylor series. And then that leads to our final period, which is multiple integration. Yan na po ang final period natin. Okay, I hope Dale, you could catch up on this study. Okay? Yan na po ang final period natin. Okay, I think my audio is clear. Let's open the word of prayer. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this time that we could continue on our discussion for series and sequence. I pray for your mercy and grace even to Dale as he needs to catch up through online session. I pray for your guidance throughout this day, throughout the week, also to our students. Bless them, Lord. Even to our live streamer here, I pray for your mercy and grace. This is our prayer in Christ's name. Amen. Okay, saglit na mga kapatid. Okay. Okay, we will be discussing some important questions here, particularly number 1. I think I hope you could read it that clearer. Okay, this is a wider view, hindi kaya. Saglit na mga kapatid, still would like to wait for my student. Hopefully yung issue niya sa internet, no, yan, minsan kasi natataon din talaga eh. Okay, natataon din. Okay, sige. Gusto kong pumunta sa isang live stream. Nandun kasi yung pre-lapag ko eh. Saglit na mga kapatid. because of the Okay, it says here, what's the difference between sequence and series? A basic question that needs a very basic answer, as we have seen here. No, so we could answer that directly through our answer here. No, so as I answered that question number one, hopefully you could see that. Okay, so it says here, what's the difference between sequence and series? Okay, basic difference. Sequence. So this is actually an ordered list, no? Ordered o nakaayos na listahan ng mga bilang. Sequence is an ordered list of numbers. Whereas while a series is the sum. Yan, tandaan natin yan, is the sum of a list of numbers. No? Yung sequence, yan yung ordered list, yung listahan ng pagkakasunod ng mga bilang. Pero pag kinuha mo na ang kanyang total or sum, that becomes a series, ladies and gentlemen. So that's answering 1A. Okay, so hopefully you could see that. Okay. Yan, maya-maya may bistahin akong ano. Okay, do you have question, guys? Okay, okay. Acknowledging, oh ma'am, ka-agree. Salamat, madam. Okay, welcome to my Calculus 3 class. This is a math major online class. We welcome you. Okay, salamat po sa mga kapamilya at ka-team ni Ma'am Ka-agree. Welcome. Thank you for dropping by my Calculus 3 class. Hindi ko na kayo maisa-isa mga kapatid. Salamat sa inyong pagpunta. Really appreciate that. You know what? I'm still waiting for my student to come in because of due to network issues. So, however, I could welcome sit in on my class. Thank you. So, this is my calculus class, calculus 3 actually. So, if you could endure this session, you may stay after the live of Ma'am Ka-agree. So, everybody is welcome. I have many math sessions from Tuesday to Saturday. You could always see me. Yan, wag kalimutang dikitan at kalembangin si host, mga kapatid. Salamat, Ma'am Ka-agree. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Teka, babawi ako si Ma'am Ka-agree kahit ako lang isang magta-thumbs up. Alright, right. Okay. So, yan. Ito kasi ang practice sa mga live streamer, no, they are supporting actually one another by giving their presence to the live stream. Salamat, Ma'am Ka-agree and your team, ha. Really appreciate your yan, salamat Ma'am Shi, Mami for Miles. Yes, ma'am, you're welcome to attend. In fact, I have previous session. You could just view the playlist for LD Woosley Bethany College. All of my sessions are there. So, pwede nyo pong tingnan. So, this is already Calculus 3. So, we are through with differential and integral calculus. This is more on the study of series. Now, I'm just reviewing my student. Hopefully, he will come back. Salamat, Ma'am Miles, sa inyong sa inyong desire, no. Okay, tune in lang kayo from time to time. I'm broadcasting my online session through YouTube, no, para maging recorded din yung session at pwedeng balik-balikan na estudyante. Thank you, madam. Yan, dahil dyan, babalikan natin si Ma'am Ka-agree. So, si madam ang unang nagtamsak sa akin ngayong araw na to. Yeah, while waiting for my student. No, I'm still waiting for my student. Saan ba yung live ni Ka-agree? Hindi. Okay, as we continue, thank you Ma'am Ka-agree for dropping by on our live stream. So that's the difference. The sequence is an ordered list of numbers while series is the sum of this list. Okay? So yan yung pagkakaiba. Sequence, pagkakaayos lang, pero pag kinuha mo ng sum, ito ay magiging series. Okay? So that's the first question. Then let's proceed to the next one. Explain what it means or what is convergent, series, and divergent. So another good question. So, yan, bibisita pa tayo ng mga live stream dito. Wala yung estudyante ko eh. Okay, so what's the difference between a convergent series or divergent? So we could always answer that. Saglit na mga kapatid, bibisitahin ko lang itong isa nating host din. Okay, let's continue, no? Okay, so I would like to answer this briefly. Okay. So we will consider a series convergent if the sequence of that series, because the series is just the sum of the sequence, it is convergent if the sequence of a partial sum. Bakit partial, sir? Kasi hindi natin pwedeng matotal yung sum niyan, infinite yan eh. Kaya partial sum lang. Okay, partial sum is a convergent sequence. So, convergent if the sequence, convergent the series, no? A series is convergent if the sequence of a partial sum is a convergent sequence. So, meaning it has a real limit, mga kapatid. Mayroon siyang limit. No, meron siyang limit, no? So, pag may limit ang isang series, sequence, therefore it must be a convergent sequence and there is a real number limit. Yan po yan mga kapatid. Oops, tumalon. Real number limit po dyan. Okay? So that's your convergent. However, if divergent, if not convergent, meaning if there is no real number limit, otherwise divergent. Okay? Yan. So, yan yung makikita natin. So, differentiating convergent series from a divergent series is that if the sequence of a partial sum is convergent sequence, meaning there is a limit on the sequence, therefore, it is a convergent sequence. And if it is a convergent sequence, therefore the sum is a convergent series. Of course, otherwise, meaning it doesn't have any real number limit, it is a divergent series, mga kapatid. Ayan po ang makikita natin dyan. No? So, yan sa bagay na yan. Okay? Do you have question, guys? Kahit wala akong masyadong kausap, alam ko may pa-BG-BG lang dyan. Okay, let's move on with our chat-chat ko nga yung estudyante ko. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so next question here, explain what it means to say that the summation of a sub n when n is equal to 1 up to infinity is equal to 5. Okay, that's a good question actually. So that's number 2. So we'll answer that. So I'll just rewrite again the formula here. Ayan, so sigma, you have sigma here, and then okay, this would be n to infinity. Summation whose we have here a given a sub n is equal to is equal to 5. Anong ibig sabihin yan? It means that the sum of this particular sequence is equal to 5 or approaching to 5. Yan pong ibig sabihin yan, no? So this is for number 2. So what it means that by adding sufficiently many terms of the series, we can get we can get closer to we can get as close as we like to the number 5, meaning the limit is 5. Okay, so yan po yan mga kapatid, no? Yan yung makikita natin dito na ibig sabihin nun, that this means that the sum of the terms of a sub n would get close to 5, but it will not be equal to 5. It will just get closer and closer to 5. So that is the limit of the sum. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's move on. So for here, 3 to 4, calculate the sum of the series at n is equal to 1 up to infinity whose partial sums are given. So there are partial sums that are given here. So we are to compute for the sum, the partial sum, meaning we could get the limit of this partial sum. Okay, so that's the limitation that we have here, is to get the partial sum from page 3, as I would display here. So calculate the sum of these two expressions or two partial sums stated below. So let's continue solving that. So maikli lang talaga yung work text, yung blackboard natin. So hindi natin masulat lahat. Okay? So how will you proceed with this? We will get the limit of that partial sum given on this problem. The first one is 2 minus 3 times the quantity 0.8 raised to n. That's the first one. And then you have the second one, which is n squared over 1 minus 1 all over 4n squared plus 1. So that's the, so we will answer that. Okay, number 3. So we need to get the limit. Again, we need to get the limit of this. So such that this will become n approaching. Now this is already n approaching, no? So you have right arrow. Mali. Okay, approaching infinity. So we could sorry, ulitin ko. So we have here at n is equal to 1, approaching infinity. Okay, so this is n sub 1 or a sub n, which is actually equal to the limit. Okay, we will get the limit meron talagang ganun. Sige, limit. Okay, we will get the limit of n as it approach right arrow, as it approach infinity. Yan. Okay, so whose sum is equal to this given quantity. So given quantity here, base is 2 minus, so you have 2 minus 3 times 0.8. Alright, so that it's the case. Now, so we could divide this into portions such that we could solve this piece by piece. So I would like to borrow this symbol. Okay, so this would be 2, okay, minus 3, limit of So limit of, para maganda siya. Tingnan. Yan. So meron tayong sense na ganyan. So of course, limit of a constant is a constant. Remember that. You cannot limit a constant because that's a constant. Parang redundant, sir. No? By definition, it's not varying. That's why it's called a constant. So you cannot limit a constant. The constant itself is the limit of itself. Okay, make sense? Ayan. So limit of 2 as n approach infinity does not matter. That will be equal to 2. Then 0.8, that is minus 3. Limit of 0.8, these are less than 1, meaning it approach infinity. Definitely it will become 0. No? That will become 0. Then the answer is equal to 2. Ayan. So equal to 2 tayo. Oops. Alright? So the answer is equal to 2. Ladies and gentlemen, hindi ko lang napapakita dito. Okay? Alright, do you have question, guys? Acknowledging one top chat on our YouTube channel. Thank you for dropping by our Calculus 3. This is an online class. We are now reviewing on sequence as part of our study in Calculus 3, preparation to power series. Then ultimately, we'll be utilizing this for our multi-integration calculations in our final period. So yan po yan, mga kapatid. Alright? So next, let's move on to number 4. Siguro yung number 4, bahala ka na, Dale. Yung number 4, bahala ka nang mag-solve niyan. Okay, I will move on to number 5. Care of Dale, my student. So you could always solve that, part of your asynchronous activity. Care of Dale. Ayan. Then I'll move on to number 5 because I will not answer. It's not my plan to answer all of this, no? I'm just setting some examples here. Though I could answer, no? I could answer. No, but that does not benefit my student at all. Alright? So yan makikita natin, mga kapatid. No? So, okay, let's move on to number 5. It says here, calculate the first 8 terms of the sequence of partial sum correct to 4 decimal places. Yung partial sum. 8 terms, first 8 terms. Okay. Calculate the first 8 terms, no? So meaning 1 to 8 siya. Okay, tingnan ko kung kaya kong sagutin to kasi wala akong calculator dito eh. Acknowledging our one top chat. Paramdam ka, kapatid. Welcome to our calculus class. No? So, wala pa rin estudyante ko. Nakain nangyari sa estudyante ko. Hanggang ngayon, mag-isa pa rin ako sa Google Meet. No? Yan. So, nevertheless, okay lang. Recorded session naman to. Thank to YouTube that we have or acknowledging okay, di ko masyado makita yung ano, guys. Pasensya na. Sam Dipines, salamat po. First time watching for your live. Salamat, Sam. Thank you, thank you. So this is my live. This is my calculus class. No, if you're interested, you could just join me. Though this is basically computational. So the fact that it is computational, it's really a discouragement. But nevertheless, thank you, madam. Are you a madam? Yes, I think in your profile it's a madam. Thank you, madam, for dropping by our live stream. This is our calculus 3 class, and we are looking now into sequence and series as we prepare for the power series and multiple integrations of this course, which is calculus 3. Okay, so this is more of a numerical computation. I don't know if I have, so wawalo lang naman yan, no? So titingnan ko pa, babalansin ko pa to. Alright, so tingnan natin, no? Kung kaya nating masagot to. Sige, number cube kasi to eh. Number 5, sige, number 5. So pwede natin siyang masolve. Alright? So wala lang talagang calculator, no? But the instruction for number 5 is to calculate the first 8 terms of the sequence of a partial sum corrected to 4 decimal places. Here, it appears that the series is convergent or divergent. Tanong pala yun. No? Alright, so tingnan natin. By definition, we could just get the formula, plug in the formula here. We could just plug in the formula. We could have a series. Ayun lang, nag-stubborn yung word ko. Saglit lang mga kapatid. Sometimes there are stubbornness on my Alright, so we're back. Okay, let's compute this. No? So based on the definition, we're now in number 5. So we could make the sum, compute for the sum of 1 over n cubed. No? So that's the solution. Okay, and we have here. So you have by definition, the value of n is equal to 1 up to infinity. Up to, hindi ko pa rin makuha yung infinity. Infinity ba siya? Hindi, mali. Hindi ko makuha. So anyway, tutuklasin ko pa ano yung shortcut ng infinity. Okay, so ayan, so yung definition natin, our sequence here is 1, hindi pala masyadong nakikita. So dun sa mga may mga malalaking screen ay okay, pero pasensya na dun sa mga maliit na screen, di talaga. Ito na yung maximum ko. Okay? So what we have here is 1 all over n cubed. Oh, no. Wait. Nalito. Nalito yung kamay ko. So 1 over n cubed. Yan. So from here we could solve. Actually, we could solve for the terms. No, we could express this 1 cube is 1 over 1 is 1. 1 over 2 cube is 8 or 1 over 8. So we have 1 over 8. What else? So 1 over 8 ano pa? Plus, so 1 over 3 cube. So that is 1 over 27. 1 over 4 cube. Lumalaki na. Nakabahan na ako. 1 over 64. We have, that is 4 cube. Alright? So 1 plus 1 over 5 cube, which is 125, plus 1 over 6 cube. Ayan na po. Ano ba ang 6 cube? So 36 times 6 is 36, 18, 216. 1 over 216. Ilang terms na yan? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yan. And then, ito na. 7 cube, 49 times 7. So 63, 343. 1 over 343. Isa na lang. Plus 1 over 8 cube. So 64 times 8. So 512. Alright? So yung approximate value niyan, so as we observe, wala talagang limit. no? So the approximate value, I'm not so sure if I could approx equivalent ba? Ay, ba? Congruent kung yun. Pero mali pa rin to, dapat equivalent eh. Anyway, so this is approximately, if we will observe, this is 5.7036, and there is no consistency on the limit. As we observe, this is divergent. This is divergent. Yeah, this is a divergent series. Okay, for number 5. Yan po mga kapatid. Ayan, di-display ko lang dito. Ayan. So that's our solution for number 5. Let's move on to siguro solving ko na lang yung isa pang odd number, then I will let of course number 6 is care of Dale, my student. Dale, I will let you also number 8. Number 7, let's move on. Alright, so for number 7, we have another series here. Okay, so this is a radical series. So let's see if we could work it out. Alright, so following the same definition. So I'll just plug in this formula. Okay, so from here, so definition of that would be number 7, di masyadong kita. So number 7 is summation of n all over 1 plus square root of n. So okay lang yan, madaling gawin yan. So 1 plus square root of n. Ayan. Ay, mali ako. Minsan hindi ko rin maintindihan itong mathematical editor na to eh. Okay, ano na lang natin. So you have n all over 1 plus square root of n. Yon. Okay, so what will be the definition? It will define this substituting 1 to 8 again. So just looking for the consistency. So it appears for instance, if we would like to try for the first, no? Try lang natin guys yung express into different sum. Yung S sub 1 halimbawa. S sub 1. So substitute 1. 1 all over 1 plus 1, it's 1 half. Okay. Tama ba guys? 1 half. S sub 2. Okay, S sub 2, 2 all over 1 plus square root of 2. Medyo mahirap na. Okay, hirap na ako dun ah. Actually, idadagdag mo pa yung isa. No, idadagdag. Sum pala yan, hindi yan yung term lang, yung sum lang. Alright? So, kasi dito, inisa-isa ko pa eh. No? Pero, ito, sum din. So, medyo, ano na siya, no? Alright, so, the first one, okay, this is approximately, medyo mahirap na siya, no? Kasi walang calculator guys, honestly wala akong calculator. I'm just relying on this text. Some yan, so this is approximately it's equivalent. Okay? So, pero hindi congruent yung ano nito. Equivalency dapat eh. Ayan, equivalent 1.0 384. And then we get the third sum. That is the summation of the first three terms. Okay. So you got here congruent. 743, etc. So magkakaroon tayo ng observation guys dito na hindi siya walang limit. Now this is divergent. So if we may continue on solving this, pataas ang pataas yung sum, hindi siya nag-i-stable to a nearest or approaching a particular numerical limit. So therefore this must be divergent. Divergent. Okay? That's for number 7. Then I will let Dale. Dale, if you're listening, are you there? So Dale is will be care of Dale. Okay, let's move on. Okay, find the at least, no? Okay, acknowledging Ma'am Ray Journey. Welcome to our Calculus 3 class. Dahil yan, tutugtugan kita, madam. Ma'am, salamat sa pagpunta mo sa aking calculus class. Pwede ka mag-sit in, ma'am, ha? Ayan, pwedeng mag-sit in sa ating calculus class, no? Ayan, so we're now on, yun nga, nosebleed nga lang to, divergent, convergent of series, madam, eh. Hindi ko alam kung, alam ko, ano ka, ma'am, musukero ka, ma'am, eh. Medyo, so, but thank you for dropping by, thank you for your, ayan po, ayan, grabe. Sumasakit ulo. Nako, pasensya naman ma'am, sorry naman at sumasakit ang ulo ni madam. Ayan, so ganun talaga, kailangan din nating ituro ito sa ating mga mag-aaral. I'm teaching math majors basically for secondary education. Ayan. So this is for recording purpose because my student cannot connect. So I need to have some monologue of my own lesson. Ayan, so yan po mga kapatid. Alright, so let's continue. So it says here on problem 9 to 14, find at least 10 partial. Naku po, parang matagal to. Kasi ito, this is more on graphics, no? Graphical. So this is more of a graphical presentation. Alright, so yun po. Pasensya na Madam Ray, Ma'am Queen Ray, dahil sumakit ang inyong ulo. Does it appear series? No? So, ang gagawin dito, i-graph. You need to graph this. No, yung sum of the first series, sum of the second, first and second, first, second, third. No, sabi dyan, 10 partial sums of series. No, graph both sequence of the terms and the sequence of partial sum at the same time. Does it appear a series? The series is convergent or divergent. So, yun po. Unfortunately, we don't have much time in graphing because it will eat our time. Nevertheless, you may continue to alright. So we'll just skip for a while 9 to 14. No, kasi dito kasi hindi wala tayong time for graphs, no. So hindi natin siya talaga masosolve. Okay, nevertheless, if we have time, we could make use of graphing tools to graph this, okay? We have a red here. So yung red ay hindi ko talaga sasagutan yung mga red. All of the reds are part of the midterm exams. Note. All red numbers. Note today. No, I will note this today. My student. All red numbered items are part of the midterm test, midterm exam. Um, so I will intentionally not solve any red items here, no? And in addition to other items that may not be necessary as of the moment. Ayan po mga kapatid, okay? So yan. So no to deal again, no? So okay, let's move on. So this is a red, 15 is a red, so I will not answer that. Okay. So we have some explanation here. So for number 16. So acknowledging our one top chat. Thank you. Okay, it says here, what's the difference between the summation of... Ayan, so... Ayan, may mapa si Pastor Aaron. Pastor Aaron, di ko masense yan kasi may klase ako. Ayan, meron tayong mga mahal sa buhay na dadalaw sa atin dito. Okay, let's continue. So 16, explain the difference between summation of AI when I is equal to 1 up to n and AJ, summation of AJ when j is equal to 1 up to n. My answer, brief answer there, no difference. It's just a mere representation. Okay, so that's a mere representation, 16A. 16A, no difference at all. Pareho lang yan, no difference, 16. Okay? So, yan po yan. And then, explain the difference. Parang wala rin pagkakaiba to eh. Hindi kaya yung tipo to. Anyway, I will go to 70. Okay, 70 na tayo, guys. Okay? So 17, determine whether the geometric series is convergent or divergent. If it is convergent, find its sum. Okay, so we're now into geometric series wherein there's a common ratio, no? Common ratio instead of a common difference, no? But we need to solve for the sum. So it's still part of this series that we are talking about. So it says here on number 17, first of all, we need to solve for the ratio. As you have noticed on number 17, the first two terms would determine the ratio. Now you get the ratio of that is the ratio of the entire geometric series because there's only one ratio. Now hindi pwedeng pa iba-iba yung ratio nito. Okay, hindi pwedeng pa iba-iba. Alright? Alright. So let's solve this number 17. No, let's look solve for R first. Your common ratio is equal to, so the first for number 17, this is A sub 2 all over A sub 1. Yan. So that's the common ratio that we have. Of course, negative 4 divided by 3. So it must be 4/3. 4/3 is actually the common. 4/3 is the common. Since this is greater than the absolute value on our test for geometric series, the absolute value that is outside 1 and negative 1 is considered divergent, meaning there is no limit at all. Now, if you will look carefully here by inspection, so the absolute value 4/3 is actually greater than the absolute value of negative 4. Dito ko siguro ilalagay ito. 4/3 is greater than 1. Okay? So therefore this is the series diverges. Okay? Meaning walang real limit to. Kasi sa geometric dapat within negative 1 and 1 lang para siya maging convergent. The series is divergent. Okay? So yan po ang makikita natin dyan. Of course, next item 18, I will leave that to Dale. Dale, marami kang trabaho. Care of Dale. This is part of your asynchronous. I will choose another item, then I will leave this portion already. Okay, so perhaps, okay, I will answer number 19, and Dale would take care of 20. 19, okay, 19. So it says here on number 19, so 10 minus 2 plus 0.4 minus 0.8. So of course, first and foremost, let's compute the common ratio. Common ratio is A sub 2 all over A sub 1, which is equal to negative 2 all over 10. So here, this is negative 5, negative 1 over 5. Oops, sorry. This one would become negative 2. So this becomes negative of 1 over 5. Yan. So this is negative 1 over 5. So that's the common ratio. Okay, so this is converge. It's converged. Since the absolute value is less than 1, so from here, okay, so from here, pwede nating, so this is 1/5. Okay, this is less than 1, so therefore, converge. It's a convergent series, geometric series. Right? So from here, so it's a convergent, meaning it has a limit. So from there, we could make use of the formula. So make use of the formula. Okay, so this is a convergent, we could apply the formula immediately, no? So the formula for a convergent geometric series, as we have discussed this morning, is that the sum would be equal to A all over 1 minus I. Alright, so from here we could substitute the first term of 19 is 10. So that's the first term. So 10 divided by 1, this is R now, sorry. That is 1 minus negative 1/5. So calculating further, what you're gonna have here is 50 over, sige, gawin ko pang mas maano. So equivalent. So 10, so this become 1 minus 1/5. That is 1 plus 1/5, that is 6/5. 6 over 5. Okay? And then afterwards, simplifying further, this will become 50 over 6. Okay? So 50 over 6, or this is equal to 25 thirds. So that's the sum of this convergent geometric series. Okay? So yan po. Of course, number 20, Dale, care of mo to, number 20. Okay, number 20 I care of. Care of Dale. Yan. Alright, next. Let's move on. Okay, ano bang instruction dito? Okay, let's identify again. For 21, let's identify whether this is divergent or convergent. But of course, by inspection, we could identify that this is number 21. No? Okay, number 21, I will just have some answers here. So this is convergent. Converges, no? Converges to, what's the limit? By computation is 60. So I'll just tell the 22, care of Dale. Alright, then we move on to 23. It's a midterm answer. So red is a midterm. And then 24, care of Dale again. Dali lang guys ha, wait lang. Ganyan, bibisitahin lang tayong bahay guys. Okay, thank you for my one top chat here. Okay, let's continue. Yan, binisita lang tayo ng isang live streamer. Si Ilocanang Hinday. Yan. Okay, 24, Dale, you need to do this. Okay, pipili pa ako ng isa siguro. 25. Sige, sa'yo na rin tong 25. Okay, acknowledging sa Bundo TV. Salamat sir sa pag-thumbs up. Welcome sir to my Calculus 3 class. This is for math majors of Bachelor of Secondary Education. Welcome to my online class. Thank you sir. Ay, Maria pala, sorry. Maria. Sorry madam ha. Maria 2 sa Bundo. Madam, salamat po. Salamat po sa pagbisita. Ito po ay ating calculus class, no? Calculus 3 to be specific. This is more of an advanced calculus for math majors, no? So, yan po ang ating online class ngayon. Salamat madam thank you for dropping by. Yan. So Dale, as we continue, care of my student, you will work on this. What else? Okay, I will be solving on 26. Yan. 26. So it says here on number 26. So determine this whether it's divergent or convergent. At the same time, solve for the limit. If it is convergent, solve for the limit. Okay, so that's the task that we will have. So from here, we could plug on again the definition of our definition here as n is equal to 1 up to infinity. Okay, so that's we define that on the term. So we have for number 26, so e raised to n divided by 3 raised to n minus 1. Alright. So that's our definition. So it's a geometric series with the first term. The first term is actually if n is equal to 1, that will become e raised to 1 is e, and you have 3 raised to, so that becomes 0. Tama ba? Mali yata ako. Okay, ganito. So, expand natin siya. Expand natin. Yes, I could see the point there. So, acknowledging our 2 top chats here from our YouTube channel. Thank you for dropping by. Though I know math particular calculus sounds boring to you. Thank you for dropping by. So, pwede natin siyang i-isolate, no? Pwede natin magkaroon tayo ng isolation diyan. So, if I would rewrite the equation, so e raised to n, andali lang, all over, this becomes 3 raised to n, 3 raised to n times, mali ako. So, times, sige, ano na lang, 3 raised to negative 1. Ayan, so ganyan. Hinati natin guys. Okay? Nagkaroon tayo ng paghahati. Alright? So, ano maging equivalent dito? So, hinati lang natin 3 raised to n times 3 raised to negative 1. And what is 3 raised to negative 1? That is 3. Gagawin natin kasi 1/3 to eh. 1 over 3 raised to negative 1 is equal to 3. So, mapupunta siya doon sa numerator. Sa numerator to. Oh, so ang may iwan dito sa baba ay yung 3 raised to n. Alright? So, ganyan yung magiging itsura nito. Alright? And of course, by virtue on the first term, our first term here is, so ang first term natin, so obviously, it's 3 raised to e, 3 times e raised to 1 all over 3 raised to 1. So ano yan? So cancel yung 3, magiging e. E na lang. So that's your first term. Now, what would be your second term? Your second term is, or your ratio, I would say, is equivalent to e over 3. No, kasi yun yung subsequent multiplier mo, no? E raised to n, 3 raised to n. So, the common factor here, kasi yung 3 naman constant, walang problema yun, hindi nag-i-increase. So, ito nga, pag titingnan pa natin ito ng maigi, so this is 3 times the quantity e over 3 raised to n. Yan. So, ganyan yung mangyayari dyan eh. Alright? So, ang magiging ratio natin guys, of course, the first term is e, and then our ratio would be obviously equivalent by inspection. Your ratio by inspection is equal to e over 3. Okay, so yan po ang makikita natin dyan. Okay, so now we could plug in now the formula. Because this is obviously less than 1, e raised to over 3 is less than 1. It is a convergent, it's converging. No? So plugging in the formula for arithmetic or geometric series that is convergent is the first term all over 1 minus r. Yan. So substituting, what do you have? First term. Okay, what will be your first term here? is E. Your first term is E. Dito, ano, A sub 1 to, sorry. Okay, first term and then ratio E over 3. Okay, so from here we could evaluate this, no? So pwede natin siyang evaluate. Ayan, so we could just have a direct mathematical substitution here or computation. So this will result to 3e. Medyo komplikado lang talaga. 3e all over 3 minus e. 3e all over 3 minus e. Ayan. Okay? That's number 26. Okay, number 26. Okay, let's continue. Okay? Kaya pa ba mga kapatid? Acknowledging our 2 top chats from our YouTube channel. Salamat sa inyo. Sana ay hindi kayo malito sa mathematics. We are into calculus 3 and we are actually solving some items here in as far as series and sequence is concerned. This is calculus 3 class for our math majors for secondary education. Okay, so that's it for number 27. Let's move on to the next item. Series convergent, convergent find the sum. So I will leave this, siguro add numbers na lang kay ano. Oh, may add number din dito na pang midterm, no? So from 41, from 27 to 42, care of Dale to. Okay, even numbers only. So halos pareho na siya eh. Okay, halos pareho na siya. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's move on. So, convergent, divergent, saka sum, no? So, ayan. Maraming items doon. Okay. Okay, I would skip on this. No? Wag muna yung 42 to 40. Skip. So, we skip for 42 to 48. Okay. So, let's move on. So, ito na yung mga problems, no? Yan, 49. So, meron tayong mga prinsipyo dito na i-adapt, no? Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay, let's continue here, no? So, it says here in 49, let x be equal to 0.9999. That's a repeated decimal. Do you think that x is less than 1 or equal to 1? No? So, yun yung ating tanong dyan. So, actually, it's equal to 1. Though by mere representation, it will not approach the numerical value, but by virtue of limit, no, the sum of the totality of 9 will approach the value of 1. Sum of the geometric series to find the value. How many decimal representation does number 1 have? Which numbers have more than one decimal presentation? Okay, let's try to solve this one by one. First of all, no, hindi siya talaga less than 1 kasi nga this number has infinite number of 9s, which is would make this equivalent to 1, the whole number. Yan ang kala na, brother Ed, ano nga 9. Numerically, yes, but there's an infinite value for 9 eh. Hindi nag-stop yung value of 9, tuloy-tuloy lang yun for eternity. No? So, yun yung makikita natin dyan, no, for 49. So, letter A. So, do you think, no? So some may think that x equal to 1, but note that x consists of an infinite number of 9s. So meaning 1.0 is actually equivalent to 0.999999999, and then walang katapusan yan, etc. Alright? So we could prove that actually it's a geometric sequence, no? So we could express this in terms of, so that's my answer for letter A. So letter B. Salamat sa 1 or 2 top chat, no? Na pumupunta dito, no, para yan. Thank you, I really appreciate that. Letter B. So we could express this in terms this decimal into a geometric series. That's a geometric series. Okay? The geometric series 0.9999, etc. So this would be equivalent now to the following geometric series. 9, that is 9 over 10, yes, plus 9 over 100, plus 9 over 1,000, plus 9 over 10,000, plus 9 over 100,000. Dami na, sir. O ganun talagang concept ng infinite, guys. No? Plus 9 over 1 million. Yahoo! Okay, etc. and etc. So that's how we present this 9.9999. Okay? So it will have a pattern of a geometric series such that it could be expressed. It could be expressed in terms of this term, the summation. I will write first the notation. The summation at n equal to 1 and up to infinity. Dahil wala po talagang katapusan ito. Yan. Of that expression 9, as observed, 9 raised to 10, or all over 10 raised to n, rather. Yan yung expression niya, no? Of course, it has the first term. The first term is 0.9 as observed here. So this 0.9, that's your first term. Your first term is equivalent to 0.9 or 9 over 10, whichever you prefer. Then secondarily, your R is 0.1 because there's the power of 10 that is increasing. So obviously, R is equivalent to 0.1. Equivalent to 0.1. So pasensya na, di ko na-display, no? Okay, 0.1. Yan. So therefore, as we apply the formula now, the common ratio is 0.1 and you have the first term 0.9. We could plug into the formula. Okay? We could plug into the formula. Alright. How many decimal presentation does the number 1 have? Yan nga ba? The number 1 has 2 decimal presentations, 1.00 and 0.9999 infinity. Okay, so dalawa. Dalawa siya. No, hindi pwedeng yung isa lang. Which numbers have more than 1 decimal presentation? Except for 0, all rational numbers have terminating decimal presentation that can be written in one more than one way. For example, 0.5 could be written as 0.4999. So meron talaga siyang may terminal talaga siya, may terminating point at may repeating point which is infinite. No? So katulad ng 0.5, it could be written as 0.49999999999. Alright? So yun yung makikita natin dyan. Wala pa rin response yung estudyante ko. Okay, so let's continue. So plugging in the formula here. So for getting the sum, okay, so your S sub n, that's the sum, is equal to A all over 1 minus R. So plugging in the formula, you have the first term 0.9 divided by the quantity 1 minus 0.1. And of course, what we could see here, lo and behold guys, lo and behold, 0.9 over 0.9 is equal to 1. Okay? So, equal to 1. Yung 0.99999, wag nyo maliitin yun kasi katumbas din yun ng 1.00000. Magkatumbas yun numerically by definition. Okay? So, yan yung makikita natin dyan. Okay? That's number 49. So, we already solved that. So, yung C and D, bahala na kayo mag-catch up na. Alright. Now, 40 sequence of terms defined by, okay, ito, madali ito. 51 to 50, siguro 50 care of din. Okay? Dale, care of Dale. Ang dami mo ng trabaho, Dale, ha? Okay? Number 51. Ito, madali na to. Tingin ko kaya na ni Dale to. Yan. In fact, I already started with 0.9999. Express the ratio. Express the number as a ratio of integers. So, ibig sabihin, you could compute for the geometric series. So, care of Dale na rin to. So, 51 to 56. Except for the red marks, that's intended for midterm, care of Dale. acknowledging our 2 top chats. Welcome to our Calculus free class. Salamat sa pagpunta dito sa ating Calculus 3 class. This is our class, online class from LD Woosley, Bethany colleges. And these are for students, undergraduate students, whose program is Bachelor in Secondary Education, major in Mathematics. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we have here, find the values of x for which the series converges. Ayan, medyo challenging to. Okay, so hanapin mo yung x para maging convergent siya. Meaning, ito dapat ay may limit. No, kung ito ay geometric sequence, ito dapat ay, the common ratio should be less than 1 absolute value. Salamat sa ating 2 top chat. Thank you for dropping by, whoever you are. Really appreciate that. Okay? So, yan. Sige, let's look at this. 57. I would look. 57. Okay, so solving for x such that it will become geometric, convergent geometric series. Copy muna mga kapatid. Guys, there at our live stream, you may ask question related to our calculus class. Yan. So, pwede yan guys. Walang problema. Okay, so far, no? Wala na yung... Actually, para sa estudyante ko talaga to. Okay, let's move on to 57. Let us solve for x such that it will become convergent. As we have seen here in number 57, so I would just retype it from here. So we have summation of, okay, so I need to show it up here. Yan, yun yung unang, ay, 57 pala is ano. Sorry, I won't answer this. This is a midterm test. Siguro yung 61 na lang. 61. So, red pala yon. Sorry. Okay, 61. Ayan, 61. So, I hope you could clearly see in your screen, no? Okay, so we have here a problem that we would like to solve for the values of x such that this geometric series will be convergent. Right? So 61. Let's continue here. So we have from n is equal to, oops, sorry. Okay, so the expression 2 raised to n all over x raised to n. Yun lang, tapos. Ayaw ah. Ulit. Okay, that's the situation. 2 raised to n all over x raised to n. That's our problem when n is equal to 1 up to infinity. So, of course, this is a geometric series. And we know that the first term, 2 raised to 1 all over x raised to 1. Or, yeah, so, hindi pa natin alam yung first term kasi nga hindi exact yung value ng x. But nevertheless, we could say that the ratio, the common ratio here, no? The common ratio is 2 over x. Yan, 2 over x. So, series converges. Now, when the ratio is supposedly, that ratio 2 over x is supposedly less than 1. Yan dapat, less than 1 yan guys, para maging convergence siya. So, what are the values? What are the values of x such that it will become less than 1? So obviously, multiplying both sides by x, it follows that x should be greater than 2. That x is greater than 2. Okay? So it follows here that x is greater than 2. But I would to reiterate, yan, it could be absolute value pala, no? So meaning, x should be greater than, by inspection na to guys, by inspection or it should be x less than negative 2, whichever is the occurrences. That will make this a convergent series. Alright? So, plugging in the definition, so we could follow your n. Okay? So, you have 1 over 1 minus r. Okay? So, substituting here, of course, where we could assume that the first term is equal to 1 when we raise both to 0. 2 over x. Yes, 2 over x. Tama. 2 over x. Okay, so substitute lang natin yun. So, 1. So, assumption na to, 1 minus 2 over x. So, from there, we could manipulate such that you will be multiplying both sides by x over x. Okay? Okay? So, that had a bearing on your solution. That becomes x minus 2. Alright? So that's for number 61. I want you, Dale, to answer the remaining portions. Okay? Okay, so salamat, no? Lahat talaga yung ating estudyante. Okay, do you have question, guys? Those who are here? O ba gusto nang ayaw na mag-quit ng klase? Gusto nang mag-quit? Okay. So many things, no? Meron pa tayong solving dito. So okay, tingin ko natapos na natin lahat eh. Kasi computers na to eh. Computers, the end partial sum, graphical, hindi na siguro. Alright. So mga applications na to. Okay, natapos na natin guys. Salamat. Dale, natapos na natin. Ang susunod nating pagtatalakay, integral test. Papasadahan lang natin to. The integral test. Okay, we have here, teka. So nasa chapter 11 tayo ng libro eh, no? By the way, acknowledging the reference that we have. So this is Calculus Early Transcendental 7th edition, no? So ayan po ang ating ginagamit. Okay, by James Stewart. So we're using the James Stewart book, 7th edition by James Stewart, Calculus Early Transcendentals. So I acknowledge the use of this. No? Some have I make use for instructional purposes only. Okay? So yan po. Pwede nyo rin makita yung buong libro. No? So far nandito tayo. Comparison test siguro. And then tayo ay papasok sa siguro readings na lang to, Dale. You will just read the remaining portion. Because next week will be modern geometry for 2 sessions. Then we will jump to power series already. Okay, readings for section section 1, 11.3 to readings na lang yan. No? And then until 0.7, 11.7. Then next topic. So, anin ko na tong aking ano. Mas magdi-deal in ako dito sa power series kasi itong mas may calculus eh. Power series. So, particularly Maclaurin's and Taylor series. Okay, so that would be our next topic. So, dated today is 28. So, anong petsa na ba sa next 2 weeks from now? So we'll be dealing with this. So 5/12. So for October 12. Okay, so this will be our lecture, but October 5 will be meeting with on modern geometry. Okay. Okay, hopefully you could watch the recorded video, the live stream that we have on YouTube, together with some of our friends from YouTube. Okay, so that would be our session. Okay, so yan lamang. Anyway, I provided already the material for you, the entire chapter 12, I think, 11, yes. So nandiyan na yan. So you just make some readings out of that and prepare yourself for our next